Mute the mic. There we go. You hear me now. I'm getting a little bit of a double, so I'm going to take my headphones off. How are y'all doing tonight? It is great to see you. I'm going to actually get rid of this screen and make it so I'm getting a double mic. I thought, but I didn't. The host is unmuted your mic. Oh, new studio. Okay. I want to just keep this the way it is. Anyway, all good now. Good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Bash. It is Dirk. I'm here to say, hey, everything sounds good. Yeah, having a problem with the sound. I don't know what that's about. I have this, I have some new fun stuff for the super chats, courtesy of Machine and his magic. And in order to get that to run smoothly, I had to have two screens up, but apparently that's making my microphone sound kooky. And I had a little song ready for you and everything, and then I got double voices when I went live. It was fine during when I was in the little green room, so to speak. Let's see who's in here. We got Andrew Rokowich with $10 Canadian. That is fantastic. And you know what that means? That calls for... How fun is that? I know. Bob Sacamano wants to know, how did the describers reduce to 1,999.999? You know, I don't know, Bob. Apparently, I must have offended somebody. Somebody left my show. How dare you? Oh, well. I mean, listen. They just don't want to be part of the greatest community in all of YouTube, the nicest people you've ever seen in your entire life. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, look who's back. The incredible Carolyn Martin with the $49.99 super mega chat. Holy crap, Carolyn, you're out of your mind, you maniac. Wow, thank you so much for that. Hands down, this is the best stream around. Thanks for bashing us there, because you're all bastards. Bastards! So we got the only one we haven't seen yet is we have the super chat, we have the regular super chat, then we have the huge super chat, and then we have the mega super chat, which we just saw courtesy of the beautiful and talented Carolyn Martin, who I'm assuming, do you feel better, my love? Are you well? I'm glad to hear it. You just took gift game to a whole new level. Yeah, we were talking it over with Asheen, and he actually made those for me because the whole gong thing hasn't been working out. And he's like, we could just do a video. I'm like, wait a minute, we could do a video? How will that work? Oh boy, what can I tell you? Dean says, at least we have a gong now. Well, we sure do. You want to be bashed? Oh, I'm gonna bash you like this Notamara, you bastard. Thursday night in the room, we got Franco, we got Ray, Dave F451, Lord H, Scotty H, Space Ace, Phonetic Duck. I'm on mute, lad. I know I was. Travis Watts, good evening. Juventus for life. Ray again, Phonetic Duck, you guys, and we got Dean, Steve McDonald, hey Steve, Angelo, hello, Bob Sacamano, Billy G, hey Billy G, JBB, those are monks. The monks are not on the payroll because they work for free because they do everything for God. Wallace 9, they were most likely offended on Friday. Well, listen, that's classic bashers. It differs from the Dirk weekdays. We all know that. Dirk weekdays is more of the how's your cat and your car and your guitars and your watches, and let's talk about this, that, or the other. And then Friday we get into the bash chat, the iBashers original format, which is news, politics, religion, and stuff. And some are more opinionated than others, and it is the winner of the truffle oil. And look at this, now we get to see a picture of him, and what does he get? He gets our Thank you, Nick Sisto, with the super chat, $10. Thanks so much. Um, did you get your stuff yet? I mean, I sent it out. Well, yesterday morning it was overnight. It said 1 to 2 days. So I hope you got it. And if you didn't, let's hope it's on its way. Sheen did shave the day, Dean. He definitely did. Is that what you look like? Is that your picture as a young schoolboy working on your A levels? Amazing. Yeah, so we were just trying to figure out ways to get stuff to look better. I've got this new thing. So it's basherdirk@gmail.com for all of your photos and messages that you want to send to me. So we could either talk about it on the show. Uh, I've got pictures from Steve, Angelo, Dave, Don, Kyle, John, Mark, Dean, the incomparable Jim Lassick, Wallace 9. Wallace 9? Wallace 9? Wallace 9? Yeah, so I have a lot of picks for today, which is great. Let me just check those off so I know that those are the ones that I have to have ready. Ray says t-shirt merchandise. You've been bashed. So yesterday was a fun bash. I had planned on doing the Oscar picks, see where you guys all lie in terms of your tastes for blowing smoke up actors' asses in conjunction with their already huge salaries. Now we need to stroke their egos. Some of them are more deserving than others. I think it used to be a more gentler time when people got due for just being wonderful and artistic and great. Now it just seems like a sports book, doesn't it? It just seems, and you can actually go to a sports book in any casino or online, and you can actually bet on who's going to win. And I think that that's really shitty. You can bet on freaking anything. But can you bet on this? What am I baking today? I've already picked out what I'm making, and we're going to do a giveaway at the end of the stream. And if anybody wants to take bets on what I'm baking, you could start in the chat windows. And how about this? I will say this: it's a sweet confection. It is of this. It's not of the savory varietal. It is sweet. It is a dessert of sorts. How about instead of a question, whoever guesses what I'm going to make, you're the winner. And if you don't get it, then we'll come up with something a little fancier. I just banged that seat. Thank God I don't wear my Milgauss. Wearing the Milgauss tonight, of course. I have a special piece of tape on the back of that, so I don't want to mess up. I got this special tape that goes along the clasp because it's center polished links, and I don't ever want to get scratches on that. So I have this very thin piece of tape. But last night I fell asleep on the couch, and I had my watch on, and somewhere in the night, when you're feeling the cold, it started to peel off. So I got to do another layer of that. Something you got to do every once in a while. Dave F451 says a cake with a file. Who's going to jail? Unbelievable. Ray wants to know if I'm making crystal meth. So far, that's wishful thinking, Carolyn. You know what's really cuckoo? It's like I'm not going to turn down a good brownie, but I don't look for them. I'm not a big sweet guy. I love to make them. I'm not exactly. I'm more of the savory kind of. I like breads and cookies and crackers and things like that. But I like the art of making sweet treats. My in-law family are a family of great bakers, and they during the pandemic, we had a couple of vessels that went around like 4 or 5 times, and we'd bake, we'd receive, we'd bake, we'd re-receive, bake. It was great. By the end of the pandemic, that thing was falling apart, So maybe it's not brownies. It's lighter in color. I'll give clues away throughout the entire show. How's that? Carolyn Martin, she's feeling good. You feeling good? Give us a heads up on how you're feeling today, my darling. That would be really good. Yeah, Sergio999 says, if you want an affordable and funny one, a Seiko 5 Diver Snoopy. Yeah, I want the Snoopy. I want the unsnoopy. There's a guy, his name is, I think it's like Hawaiian Watches or Hawaiian Wristwatch. I'll go find it. He actually He found it. There was one in the AD in like Honolulu. So it's the first one I've seen on the YouTube where somebody actually has it in their hand and tried it on. I was amazed by that. Phonetic Duck wants to know if you can get a close up of Milgas. You can. Unfortunately, as most of you have known, by pulling off Santa's beard, I will tell you that I have a green screen. So what happens is, this watch has this beautiful green sapphire crystal on it that you won't be able to see because anything green gets blocked out. And then my camera, sometimes it focuses, sometimes it doesn't. Are you not going to focus for the kind people at YouTube? You're not. See, this is why I got that new camera the other day. And then I immediately sent it back because it was garbage. But I will say this. Oh, Bob Sacamano, you are so close. So close. Wow. I mean, you almost, God, I almost feel like I have to give that to you. If you want to be a little bit more specific, but man, you're close, dude. Hawaiian Horology, that's correct. That guy has the watch. So let me see if I could pull that up. I won't get in trouble for doing that, right? Will I? That would be shitty if I did. Let me go to so many watch channels that I don't know anything about. I'll just turn there it is. And I will grab that screen.
Is actually the watch that I've been waiting for. It has some of the things that I thought the other Speedmasters were lacking. Like, if you look at these side by side, they are very different. And one of the things I wanted to point out that none of the other videos I've seen are talking about is the applied indices on this watch. And it is a very nice contrast. When you see it in person, the lacquer dial is very stunning. And with these applied indices, that's what I think some of the other models are missing. I know like the Heslate version is a tool watch, everything's painted on there, and it went to the moon and da da da. But I think at this price point, even the black dial sapphire sandwich not having applied indices is kind of a negative for me. And this really takes it to another level. And this will be the watch that I think I'm going to purchase. So hopefully my authorized dealer will give me a call soon. And once I do get it in hand, I'll have a full review. But thanks again for watching another episode of Hawaiian Horology. And I'll see you on the next one. Shoots.
How cool is that the guy had it? I mean, I obviously haven't seen it in a while. I want to make a trip over to Omega on Fifth Avenue in New York City to see if I can have a look at that thing because it's just, I don't know about you guys, but I've fallen madly in love with it. It's so beautiful. It just pops. I love the indices. I love the applied logo. All that stuff is great. Bob, send me a private message because at bastardturk@gmail.com, I'm gonna, I mean, it's kind of so close. You're close. You were close in the beginning. It's not lemon bars. But you said lemon loaf, and technically it's kind of like a loaf. I'm making a lemon cake, so there you go. So let's give it up to Bob. Let me go for his original one, where he said lemon loaf. It's like a pound cake, but it's a lemon pound cake. So it's a loaf, I guess. It's in a loaf pan. So therefore, Bob Sacamano, please send me your details, and I will ship off to you a freshly baked lemon loaf with lemon icing. Thank you, Bob Sacamano, for that. Yeah, give it to Bob. Yeah, Bob deserves it. Haha, Bob, I'm dying over here. I don't think anyone gets your name, but I definitely do. Hey, Sean L. Bob Sacamano. That's a fake name? Bob got it. Yeah, let's see. It's only fair to do that, right? Because it was close. It was close enough. But that is that a Seinfeld reference? Because I'm a pretty big Seinfeld, but is he like the fiction? Is he like the fake friend that Kramer had? Yeah, Kramer. That's it. Kramer knows Bob, but we've never seen Bob. Nobody ever played Bob Sacamano, right? Did they? I don't think so. Right. So just identify yourself as Bob Sacramento so I know who to ship it to. Um, Seinfeld, there's so many references from that show. I think my favorite Seinfeld episode is the Merv Griffin show, where Kramer gets the set for the Merv Griffin and everybody comes in and he starts interviewing them. That one's the Seidler is also a funny one. Um, the one where Elaine eats the cake is the 200-year-old cake. That's a really funny one. It's just that show is just classic. Um, I absolutely love it. It's like a 30 Rock, Seinfeld, Frasier, any single one of those episodes. It was just the best of American comedy. Was definitely in that era, that 90s era. It was amazing. It was a golden age of television. And I think most of those shows were on, was Frasier? Yeah, they were all NBC shows, weren't they? Seinfeld definitely was. Frasier definitely was. 30 Rock definitely was. Well, that 30 Rock was later, right? Yeah, Sean says, Dirk, yes, you're talking. The Merv is amazing. That's when Jerry drugs his girlfriend to play with her toy collection. That's right. And that would never be able to be made now because he'd get Jerry Seinfeld would get canceled. I mean, Bill Cosby, hashtag Bill Cosby. Carolyn Martin says she's never seen an episode of 30 Rock. Well, you should start. I just re-binged the whole show. Actually, I'm almost done. I'm up to I think it went 7 or 8 seasons. It's not to be believed how funny that show is. It's just what a golden cast. The chemistry between Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin was just unbelievable. And Alec Baldwin, as you go, as Topster would probably say, that bloated liberal asshole. He plays the polar opposite on the show. He plays the most right-wing conservative Republican in history. So he plays against type, and it's really, really funny. And he does it very, very well. He plays like the GE executive in charge of television programming and microwaves. And she runs a show in 30 Rock, where Studio 8H, where they do Saturday Night Live and all that stuff. And the hijinks that go along with that. And it's really, really super great. Yeah. Scotty H, PayPal. Thank you so much for the PayPal, man. So what do we do with PayPal? So we got to give you a because it's still a super chat, and it's a YouTube free super chat where they don't take 30% of your earnings. Listen, it pays the bills and it's pretty great. So thank you for that. Thank you, Lord H. Lord H, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for that. Yeah, and then there's a Seinfeld episode where somebody pitches a show to Jerry, and he goes and he meets with I think it was supposed to be Warren Littlefield, who was then the chairman of NBC, and they go in there and they have like a fake Kramer, a fake Elaine, and a fake George, and Jeremy Piven is the fake George, and they pitch the show and they go, "What's the show about?" And he goes, "Well, it's about nothing." Which the show totally was. I keep banging into this day. I moved my chair. That's why I'm closer in proximity. That's why we got the go. The gong is a slightly different one. It is. I'll tell you which one that is. That's the bell. And the gong is huge super chat, and the nuclear explosion is mega super chat, which is really cool. And I want to thank him so much for making those for me. Actually, he said he was going to do it. And I was on the phone with somebody I needed to talk to for quite a long time, talking about a lot of fun hijinks around here and baking and fashion. And it was just such an unbelievably interesting conversation. He probably doesn't want me to mention him, but he watches the show. He watches Watch Fashion Police, and he watches both my show and Ashin's shows. And we just got so caught up in he loves to bake, and he loves fashion, and he loves suiting and great shirts, and fascinating guy. So, but by the time I got off the phone, I said, "Oh shit, let me go see what's going on got to set up my show." And then I saw they were all there, so I sent him a message. I was very, very excited about that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tobster McDonkey. Alec Baldwin is in one of the greatest movies, The Hunt for Red October. It looks like he'll be starring in Cell Block D. Now he's not. The armorer was convicted, and that's all that matters. It was her job, not his job. So people need to lay off on Alec Baldwin. He's being persecuted because people don't like his politics. He's one of the funniest guys in history. Everybody who's ever worked with him adores him. He's a very likable guy just because of his listen, I like people for who they are. I don't give a shit what their politics are, unless they're bad people. I don't like bad people. I like good people. I wouldn't be friends with Benjamin Netanyahu or fucking even Donald Trump would probably he doesn't drink though. So that would be a drag, because what would you do with Donald Trump? Like, what's fun for him? I don't play golf, though I would like to try to play golf. I'm approaching that age where you probably should start playing golf. Alex Lifeson from Rush is an avid golfer. So I don't know. I would, I don't see what I would do with, like, what kind of hang would Donald Trump be? Joe Biden wouldn't remember if we hung together. He wouldn't remember it 5 minutes later. He's giving his State of the Union address tonight. That should be enlightening. Oh, that guy. I saw a guy Mitt Romney was on CNN the other night, and he's a guy that I always liked as a person. I think he's a little bit left of right center, and he basically gave the honest lowdown on Biden and on Trump. Basically said that Joe Biden's made a lot of big mistakes with immigration. He's made a lot of mistakes with foreign policy. He's made a lot of mistakes with Israel. He's made a lot of mistakes. And he said they said, well, would you vote for Donald Trump? And he said, hell no. And he said, the reason why is because America is supposed to be the shining beacon, the light, the city on the hill. Whereas Donald Trump wants to isolate us from the world, which there are people who want that, who want to be just us on a rock. And that's your opinion. But Alec Baldwin, he's one of the funniest people. Everybody should read his book. It's freaking amazing. Topes just says Trump's an awesome golfer. I would never golf with him. I sucked him. He's not an awesome golfer. He gets endless mulligans. He cheats at golf. My sister knew the guy who ran his golf courses. He's a terrible golfer. Carolyn Martin says, I don't agree with you because he denied pulling the trigger and said he never pulled the trigger, but the bullet just flew out. Yeah. I wonder, I put myself in a situation like that. Do you remember whether or not you pulled the trigger? I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but even better than that is, why are real guns, actual guns that can fire projectiles, why are they on movie sets at all? We have, I could probably 3D print any gun in the entire world and it would look completely natural. And we've got all kinds of CGI to make the bang, bang, spark, spark, whatever. Why in the world would there be? It makes no sense to me why real guns. And if there are real guns, they should have, the chambers completely closed off or plugged up or, whatever you would do to make it a dead barrel. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know how I feel. Would I remember that after killing somebody by accident? I don't know if any of us would remember exactly what happened. You'd be like, I think your heart would say, I didn't pull the trigger right. I didn't pull the trigger right. I didn't pull the trigger. You'd think so. Like, do we really need to fire blanks to make it look effective? Like, I'm sure that on John Wick, there's not an actual gun on that set. There can't be. That's all CGI. It's all CGI. It's got to be. Has to be. Travis has been golfing for 20 years. Yeah, I think it's great. Alex Lifeson, my favorite human on earth. Alex Lifeson, guitar player from Rush, the guy that gets the least credit because he's got those two other guys in the band. One of my favorite guitar players, but also he's just such a funny, beautiful human being. And he's a golfer, and he says that golfing he's just able to shut his brain off while he's on the golf course. I believe that's probably true. John Mills says Trump expects gimmies from 12 feet. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, we all know that that's true. But yeah, oh yeah, right, Mr. Bad Guess. So Seinfeld. Wow. Here's two worlds colliding. Comedians in cars getting coffee. The two best episodes. They're all comedians, and Alec Baldwin's not a comedian. He's just very funny. The two best episodes are the two that Alec Baldwin did. They're freaking amazing. And the other thing is, he never talks about himself. His book was, I've read his book 3 times because every time I read it, there's something so fascinating in it. Mostly because there's a reverence towards old Hollywood and old acting values. And, he hates like the celebrity shit. That's the problem, though, when you become famous. And I don't have a problem with actors punching paparazzi because I think that they're dicks. There's a lot of people out there who have good relationships with paparazzi, like, hey, Nick, what's up, John? What's up, Pete? And then they know their boundaries. But, I don't like his wife, however. I think she's a grifter psychopath. Yeah. Carolyn Martin, actors are given training to prevent accidents in case the armor makes a mistake. Yes, she's guilty, but she shares. I don't think so. I think, no, I don't think you're an asshole at all, but I just don't think. The only place I will agree with you is that he is a producer on the movie, so therefore bears some sort of responsibility. I mean, they said they handed him a gun, and everybody said cold gun. And then if you have a cold gun in your hand, I mean, that's what you pay people for. So, but he's a producer, so I do get that. You're far from an asshole. You're just, like you're being a person on the jury, Unfortunately, there's no such thing as a jury for tenant landlord cases, which there should be. And I found out why that there isn't. Check this out. The reason why there isn't, because 90.999% of the people would side with the tenant. That's what the courts say. That's the reason why they only go before a judge. It's crazy. Yeah, live ammunition. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why the fuck that would be in? Why? I watched the breakdown of her trial too, and I noticed that like she got her hair done really cutesy, and she had like a cute little dress on but she used to look like a stoner. She had purple, orange, and blue hair on the set, and she lost a lot of weight, and she just looked very presentable for court. But I just thought she was a little too glamorous looking. When you go to court, you're supposed to look kind of like gray, kind of like nothing, neat, tidy, and nothing. Not like what's his face from the producer, super producer. What's his name? I can't remember his name. The guy with the big afro, Phil Ramone. Not Phil Ramone. What's his name? Be my little baby, baby, my darling. Ronnie Spector, Phil Spector. I knew. This is what happens to my brain. I had one of those coffees and I mixed it with one of those chocolates. It just hasn't hit me yet. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, Tobster says, I know a fair amount about gun set rules. The whole crew has to stop while the actor checks the gun and pulls the trigger in the air so everyone knows it's clear. I don't know if that's particularly true because we have a friend who's a producer in Hollywood films, a very close friend of Sheen and I. And I don't know if that's true. I mean, if it is, what do you do with that? Actor checks the gun and pulls the trigger in the air. Is that, I never heard that before, but that, first of all, just take real guns off of a set. I mean, that should be the law now. That should certainly be the law now. Why in the world would we have that? It's ridiculous. I don't know. You think he's going to get, I don't think he's going to get sentenced. I don't think so. I think his wife should go to jail, though, for being a fraud. How do you say in English? Cucumber? Al Benedetti says Spectre. Yeah, it came to me. I knew it would after a while. So I will say this. We will go through this little actor thing because I want to see what you guys think about I want to get your opinions on that. Here's Boston Collector. At Dirk, good evening. Happy AP release date. Oh shit. I haven't seen the goodies. Enjoying the show. Made some Iron Chef American corned beef and cabbage for dinner. All right, aren't you Ironish? Getting ready for St. Paddy's Day. That's great. My brother's trying to pull the whole family. We lost our parents within 18 months of each other, like 2021 and 2020, 2022 and 2021. So, you know, like this four of us, and, you know, we wound up splintering. So my brother's trying to pull us all together for St. Patty's Day, and I hope that that works out. So yeah. Tobster says that oh no, sorry about that. I'll get to that in a second. Tobster says John Wayne made 50 movies with real guns and never shot anyone. Actually, my dad, who was a big Western aficionado, told me that in those days they used to use cap guns. So special kinds of cap guns that were made for movies. I don't know why that would have changed. Travis says pulling the trigger to make sure a gun is clear is ludicrous and goes against any responsible action while handling a firearm. My friend who's a producer on films never mentioned that, and we went through. We wanted to be clear on it. I wanted to be clear on it before, like I made any judgment, because you know she's dead and she's not coming back. And you know it's funny. He was very close to her and her husband, and of course he sued him, and you know because that's what happens. You know because when people die or people get injured, you know you might care about that person, but then there's always the money. And that's a shame that that's what happens. Should we go look at Audemars Piguet to see what's going on there? Maybe we should. I didn't realize that. Is everybody all over that right now? Do they have something new for us to see? Okay, StreamYard. Let me go to present and we could go look through that. All of us. It's more fun than Oscars, right? A new sand go. Ooh, wow. The new Royal Oak self-winding tourbillon open work introduces a new 18-karat gold alloy called sand gold. Ever Rose, Sedna Gold. Everybody's got their gold going on, right? They all do. Remember, send your pictures to basherdirk@gmail.com. And then I have something fun to talk about. Mark Wild says, have you seen Roman Sharif? Like he wishes on YouTube winning Trump's trainers for about 10 grand. I have no time for Roman Sharif. No time. He's a grifter salesman. I can get it for you wholesale. That guy. I don't like him, and his kind do nothing for me at all. So let's look at this. I don't watch his show. I don't watch any of those guys that are sad, you know. A gray market guy's never interested me. I've never been interested in those guys ever. Look at this. A new sand. That's beautiful, though. Oh, here we go. The new sand go. Oh, wow. Our latest. Let's have a look. Fantastic. Don't pop to a new page, please. I hate when it does that. Okay. A new sand gold. Oh, Sheen's going to die because he's so AP now. The new Royal Oak self-winding flying tourbillon. How expensive is that thing? 18-karat gold. Hovering between a white and pink gold. Yeah, that's the way rose gold should be. It should be slightly pink. Uncompromising craftsmanship. Well, it's Audemars Piguet. I would hope so. I like his little finger condoms. This new galvanic color sits in a subtle contrast with the rhodium toned components of the movement's inner workings to create a unique 3D effect. Wow. Did they? Wow, look at that thing. That's crazy. What's the price on this? Anybody know off the top of their head? Oh boy. Oh, are they going to tell you? No. What if I clicked on that? Price on request. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, I figured it was something like that. Sure. Let's go back and let's go look at their other pieces that they have there. Let's see the other ones. We got this Severin reference. This is nice. Oh, their website is kicking. Kicking. Thanks for the heads up, man. Boston Collector. Thank you so much for the... Look at this. 7 references. Let me get rid of my my banner so everybody can see things clearly. 7 references in 18-karat gold. Look at that. Oof. Oof. Oh, I love that thing. Well, those are for the ladies, right? That looks like the Tokyo 2020 Mega Speedmaster. I'm sorry. It looks like they copied the look of it. Oh, that dial is stupid. Oh, wow. I like the green one. Wow. Very cool. Let's go down. Oh, yeah. Look at that dial. Wow. Oof. Them's fancy. Super. Well, flying tourbillon's got to be at least 120, right? It's got to be up there. That's not the flying tourbillon, obviously. Boston Collector says 250. Ma'am, did I lowball that? 250 for the sand gold tourbillon. Wow. Oh, sadly, that's going to be it's going to be Tyga is going to wear that. And then why would you care? Oh boy. Oh. Sheen says, Dirk, I sent you all the AP info. I didn't check my email, I guess, including stuff on John Mayer hours ago. I guess he sent it to my not iBashers related email. All right, well, of course. Oh, there it is. John Mayer EP. Let's see. Audemars Piguet watch shorts. Did he get his own model? Oh, no. Let me go see what this is. Sorry, I'm just opening up a page. I'll share it with you in a second. Oh, shit. Yeah, they did. They Audemars Piguet. If you guys didn't know, I just found out because obviously Sheen's been on this. Audemars Piguet and John Mayer collaborated on a watch. Wow. There you go. Okay. That happened. This is beautiful though. I like this one a lot. That dial is crazy town. Huh. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Can I get this one? Wow. These are very beautiful. And 41 millimeters. 5 new variations. Those are elegant. Look at those lugs. Oh my God. Whoosh. Wow. That is, that's the reason why that's a Trinity watch, right? Let me go see if is that on the website? Let me see if it's on there. Watches, new releases. Let's see. Is it some kind of limited shebang? See if I can. Oh, there it is. There it is. This is the John Mayer. Audemars Piguet is teamed up with American singer, guitarist, and watch collector John Mayer to create the latest iteration of the Royal Oak Perpetual Calendar Limited Edition, equipped with the manufacturer's self-winding caliber 5134. Wow. Oh, brother. That dial, I don't know how I feel about that. It looks like, somebody went to Michael's. For our international friends, Michael's is a craft store where you can buy a bag of sparkles. It kind of looks, I'm sure in person it's breathtaking. What is that, like crushed? John Mayer worked hand in hand with the AP teams to design the picturesque dial, whose texture and vastness lend depth to a complication that has shaped the world of Audemars Piguet since its beginnings. Each detail harmoniously combines to give the timepiece a sense of infinity. This new scintillating dial finish gives life to John Mayer's vision of a crystal sky. The embossed motif is composed of irregular shapes resembling crystals, whose sharp angles and facets add depth and brilliance to the piece. To achieve this level of detail and complexity, the stamping die was created atom by atom through a metal deposition process known as electroforming. Wow. I like doing voiceovers. It's fun. Oh, here he goes. My favorite watches have dials that you can stare at endlessly. That's why I changed his grammar, because he said you can stare endlessly at. That's not what he meant. A great watch dial feels like a picture window. You look into it, not at all, not at it. In the case of this QP, it's like looking up at a moonless sky. There is a true sense of nature in it. And when you couple that sense of depth and vastness with the complication of a perpetual calendar, it is a very powerful combination of technical prowess and aesthetic design. Well, thank you there, Johnny. What's the price point on this guy? Is there a buy option? Let's see. I don't think Audemars Piguet has something so crass on their site, right? As to buy. So let me click on that. Price on request. Okay, so that seems to be the going thing. Well, Audemars Piguet with some fabulous new Royal Oaks. I mean, that's pretty much what they sell, right? That's the big watch. What's everybody doing in the chats before I lose my place? A Hodinky. Yeah. Oh, the John Mayer is $181,500. Wow. It's 180. No one's getting. AP has perfected the art of separating a fool and their money. AP has perfected the art of separating a fool and their money. No, you know who's going to wear it? Tyga. And I only know who that is because I see pictures of this guy, this bozo, and he's got like the most expensive shit on that you've ever seen in your entire life. And I'm like, why is he that rich? What is he has a couple of rap songs out? There's no way he's making money off. Nobody's making money off their records anymore. They're not. They're making money from touring and, I mean, Taylor Swift makes money. But like, if U2 put a record out tomorrow, it would sell about 40,000 copies. They'd have to go on tour to make money. They do that Sphere shit. Nobody cares about new music because music is free. Didn't you get the memo? It's all free. Sheen says to Boston Collector, celebs only. Yeah, it's Ed Sheeran got one immediately. Don't you think? He definitely did. Yeah, of course, Travis. JLC is a brand that gets collectors into hierology at a more moderate price. There's so many beautiful Coutres to buy that you're affordable, and it hasn't caught the zeitgeist of, Tyga and company and the Kardashian, all the rappers that they date, and all the, what's that guy, the tattooed guy from Saturday Night Live that all the girls went crazy for, and he's just gross. Get it at all. I just don't get that guy. He's funny if because he's a stoner. I think that the sand one is absolutely beautiful. I don't really like the John Mayer one. It looks like it's got like sparkles, like from a craft store. Yeah, Mr. Bad Guy says I'm you with wrong. I don't look. Why would I care about a guy like that? He's just shyster. He's just one of those guys that's just, fringe creeps. It's just no good. I don't watch any of those channels. I don't watch any of the guys that are watch dealers. I don't watch any of those guys. I never have. The watch channels I watch are enthusiasts, collectors, and the whole watch community. That's it. I'm not interested in any of the people that also, except for Tim Masso. Because he works for Watchbox and they do sell watches. But that guy, I just want to crawl inside his brain for 5 minutes. That guy can extemporaneously just pick up any watch and he's going to give you the caliber and the model number, its history, and every single piece of information that can be had on a watch. And I could just tell it's not research. The guy just knows this stuff. He's some kind of crazy watch robot. That guy he's the real pontiff, kiddos. He's the if Archie's the pontiff, then Tim's Masso's just God. It's ridiculous. Those shows, let me give you a bargain. I'll give you a good deal. Not for me. Angelo says for me, Breguet any day over the Trinity. Well, you can get one. The history is there. They make some beautiful timepieces, and I mean, I don't know who it was that put them in those three together. Obviously, they're three amazing brands. I mean, Vacheron is probably the least known of the three. Oh, Mr. Bad Gas, missed your mean one, Mr. Bad Gas. Hit the apex says, thus like all. Thank you, Mr. Bad Gas, for the super. $4.99. Thank you so much. I'm not even hitting the bell anymore. It feels weird to not have the bell, but I like it, and it's very, very cool. We have the regular super chat, mega super chat, and the huge super chat, all available. um, yeah. So let's get into. It is 10 minutes to the hour. So why don't we get into some of your shots, starting with Wallace 9 and his Hamilton. Very nice. Here we go. Thank you, Mr. Badgas, very much for that. Oh, that's beautiful, man. I love this one. Look at that. I can blow this up. I love the date. The that's amazing. Day date. The day is very attractive. Aren't they making such attractive watches these days? It's amazing how Boulevard and Hamilton and so many of the older brands, even though they're not American made anymore for the most part, Boulevard are still headquarters, even though they're owned by a Japanese conglomerate, and thank God it's Japanese. Um, they're still they're still headquartered in New York City. I mean, originally they were from right across the street from LaGuardia Airport I guess that's technically Jackson Heights, I would imagine. I'm trying to think. But this is absolutely beautiful. The khaki automatic, which I love on the brown leather. Proportions are beautiful. I love how the 12, 3, and 9 are larger. There's a lot of detail went into this watch to make it attractive. That's a great looking piece, man. Great looking piece. Thank you for that. Thank you, Wallace. Thank you so much. And Angelo, hold on a second. Oh, look at this, Dave Knoll. Look at this. Look what he got. This is interesting because it's not all watches, my friends. It's not all watches. He got one of those Tesla SUVs. Is that crazy or what? Those things are nuts. I didn't know if these were ever going to be released to the public. Wow. Look at that thing. That looks like, if anybody's ever seen the movie Sleeper, which is an early Woody Allen film, and it's with Diane Keaton, and they have all the cars. All the cars are starting to look like Sleeper, but this really looks like it. Now, this car, I think it starts at like 75 or 80 grand, and this is like actually, it's considered a truck because there's a bay in the back, but I guess it's more of an SUV, right? Dave F451, the Hamilton is perfect. I would agree with you. What a perfect watch. I'm going to show that to my father-in-law, or maybe that'll be a great birthday present because he would love that. I think there's 2 shots here. Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, it's very cool. It looks like what the future is going to look like. When are we going to replace the wheel? Aren't we going to have hovercrafts? Where are the flying cars, the hovercrafts? You know, Vaughn says it reminds him of the Pontiac Aztec. It's cooler looking than that. The Aztec was a fugly looking thing. This is, look at the headlights on this thing. It's really, really interesting. Wow. Thanks for that. That's very cool. That's from Dave. Hudson Harvey is in the house with some of the greatest loom you will ever see in the history of the world. I think I shared this last night, but I didn't give it enough time. It's the Black Seal. Oh. I mean, if there was ever pornography in loom, it is Panerai. That is just glorious. What a beautiful watch that is. Looking super attractive on your wrist. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Tobster, it's called the Cybertruck. Yeah. I mean, you can't really call that a truck. It's not big enough to be a truck. We're just I'm a size queen. It's definitely not a good truck. It's an SUV. Oh my God, look at this. Jim Lassick strikes again with this. This is wow, this is an MG. What is that? Wow. That is really, really cool. I love that color. That's like these old roadsters, man. They were so beautiful. You know, you get killed in them if you were in a high speed accident, though. But they were so much cars were so much more attractive than they are now. They just all look like eggs. They all look like bubbles. It's a Triumph, right? It's a Triumph. Beautiful. Was that a TR7? TR8. TR7 was the one that looked like a lotus. Beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much for that. One shot. Thank you. Thank you for that. Of course, you have a car like that. Oh, Mr. McKenzie is in the house with, I guess his wolf. Do you own a wolf, or is this a wolf that showed up in your backyard? Isn't that cute? Or is that a fox? Looks like a fox, but it looks like a wolf. I can't believe that people hunt foxes. They're adorable, and they actually can make great pets, by the way. If you had a beautiful farm, not in your apartment. Like if I had a farm like in the countryside, I'd keep foxes and wolfhounds. I grew up with Irish wolfhounds and they were amazing. Yeah, it's a fox. It just looked big from my perspective. Oh, look, is there anything cuter when animals yawn? There's nothing cuter. Nothing cuter. Oh, he's beautiful. That fox. That's, I think, where I disagreed with Roger Waters. I think Roger Waters wanted to keep fox hunting an English tradition. I say that's fuck you, Roger. It's ridiculous. Where these rich people get on horses, drink champagne, and then go kill shit. You're a dick. You're not gonna eat it. If you're not gonna eat it, don't shoot it. That's all I have to say. The tame fox, Mark Wilde, with Portuguese there. Let's see. Looking beautiful. Very attractive. It's such an elegant, classy piece. Look at that dial. Yeah, these are great. They're elegant and they're very and I don't mean this, they're not like effeminate and they're very genteel. They aren't crass in any way. They're elegant and refined, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Beautiful dress watch. I love the subdials. Very nice. I think there's more than one. Ooh, look at the IWC collection. The chronograph automatic. Beautiful. Looks great. On Alligator. Thank you so much for that. John Paleo. He's going to show off his Cartier Santos. Can I say that it's never been my favorite watch, but in this, that looks absolutely beautiful. I think I hate it. I certainly hate it in two-tone because the contrast between the screws and the watch, it just doesn't work. They need to get that act together. It just doesn't work. This looks fantastic. That looks really great. It fits you great. I like your little game here with your beautiful Celadon sweater underneath that jacket. That's, you could be on Watch Fashion Police with a pair of, can I get that smaller? That looks great. Great color for a jumper. And there he is with his tag. Look at that. Very nice. Wow, that fits you perfect. Little perfect fit on that watch. Yeah, tag doesn't get a lot of love. A Moto Guzzi, right? Look at that. That's a beautiful Italian motorcycle. A lot of guys who are really into motorcycles go two ways. Well, three ways. They go rice burners, which are all the Asian ones, which are, whatever bikes. But then there's the Harley guys, and then there's the Italian guys, and they are hardcore. And that's very cool because you go to Italy and everybody's on some kind of like little putt-putt. They're on the Vespas and they're on all the other ones, the ones that go faster, because the Vespas are more for touring or, for a beautiful lady to ride side saddle with her bag of fruit and, ciao, to tour the city. Look at this is the Leaning Tower of Pisa and stuff like that. But the more serious guys go Moto Guzzi. That's very cool. Very, very cool, dude. Thank you for that. Love sharing the stuff. That was. So what do you got? We got a T-Cell on the show. Have we ever had a T-Cell on the show? So tell me in the chats if we've ever had one. Yes. Oh, look at that. with the date at 4:30. Great looking. These are affordable and they're wonderful timepieces. Everybody could have one in their collection, for going to the amusement park or the beach for the day. If you don't want to you don't want to walk through the streets of London and get mugged, it's a beautiful watch. Beautiful stuff. I love this watch. I love the roughness of the case. Reminds me of a little bit of the Mark II Speedies, which I definitely am hankering for at the moment. That blue dial. I've got my eye on an eBay auction, and I'm hoping I get it because it's very, very, very cool. And I think that's going to be the next big thing. I really do. Oh, how cool is this? From Don. Hey, Don. Don, new to presenting shots on the show. He's got a big set of paws there. Look at this. Wow, Waltham. The Walthams are out of control. I want to know what's going on here, though. Rodania. Now, what is that? That is absolutely insane on a Spidell band. Look at that with the stretchy Spidell. This is a very, very cool piece, man. Look at how small the crown is. This is beautiful. Rodania. RR. Wow. Send me some information on that because I have no idea what that is. It's very beautiful, though. And then his Waltham pocket watch. It's like every great train guy in the United States, they had it, Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Jim Lassick with the super chat. $4.99, Mr. Lassick. Thank you so much. Respect to all motorcycle enthusiasts, no matter what you ride. 2 wheels down, brothers and sisters. Hey, Jim, have you ever read any of Neil Peart's books? The drummer from Rush, who was a giant enthusiast. There's a great story for those of you who don't know. Neil Peart is one of the greatest rock drummers that has ever graced a drum set. When there's 3 guys that come to mind when you think about the great rock players, and he's one of them. He was not only a motorcycle enthusiast, but he also has a famous story about his lost Patek Philippe Calatrava. I think it was somewhere in Canada. I forget where it was exactly, but in his book, in one of his many books, Ghost Rider, he's got like several books. Actually, I have an extra copy of Ghost Rider, so I could give that away next week. Books are great to share, especially when you really like a book. One of his saddlebags wasn't secured when they stopped for a bite to eat. And he was a big Macallan drinker, as you could tell from his W.C. Fields nose that had been emerging in the last couple of decades. But he actually died from glioblastoma because he had one of the biggest brains in the world. So, of course, that got eaten by cancer. It's just the way nature works. So he had come away from a lunch, and I guess he didn't secure one of the saddlebags, and it fell off. He realized it was gone, turned around, and it was nowhere to be found. Somebody had already found it, and they couldn't figure out who it belonged to. Something like 10 or 15 years later, he got the watch back, but he had replaced it already. It was a gift from his wife. It was a Calatrava. And so he paid back the insurance company. Who does that? He did it. You got to love that guy for doing something like that. Thank you, Jim, for that. It's very sweet of you. So back to the viewer shots. We have here a set of Tudors, a return to glamour. Look at that. That's very cool how you have that on your car. I can't tell what kind of car it is from there, though. Yeah, the Tudor guys are out in force lately. We've had a lot of Tudors on the show. Very cool. You got a 3-hander and a chronograph. I never really paid much attention to them until recently. I love the knurling on them. I think it's the sexiest knurling in the business. I mean, obviously a Datejust is pretty sexy too, but that's a totally different thing. You know, like the Seamaster. That the problem with the Seamasters is that they're very, very hard to turn. So if you were a diver, you'd probably have a very hard time getting that to turn because it's a mess. Oh, here it is at poolside with the chrono. Look at that. Let's get a big shot of that. Look at it with his Pelagos chronograph. Yeah, I just love how I love that. I love the look of that. Looks great on your wrist. Perfect fit again. Perfect fit. Thank you so much for that. That's Dave. Angelo, Mini Kill. Oh, hey, what is this, man? I love when it's fun to see when stuff's not what you expect it to be. And I didn't expect this at all. It's an aerial shot. Is this of where you live, buddy? I can't blow it up. It won't let me. Won't let me do anything. Oh, there it goes. I got it. Very cool. Is this your compound? That's very cool. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's an aerial shot of Colina Verde. I have already sent this to you. This was taken by Okay, yeah, well, I didn't see it before, so thank you for resending, and I appreciate it. Thank you for that. Steve McDonald. Let's go. Thank you, Steve. Back to Tudors. The Tudor Coke. Was that a Diet Coke? Is that what they call it? I'm guessing that's what they call it. Still on the sauce. I'll give it up again eventually, but not right now because I don't want to. It's great. It's great looking. Oh, and the Seiko in full illumination. Look at that. That looks amazing. Seiko's got some crazy loom too. You guys all love Seiko, right? Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Doesn't get anywhere near as much love as it probably should have. Al Benedetti with one of these. What is this watch called again? You guys told me once before. I don't know the brand. It's very cool though. It's a great looking watch. I love the Starfield dial. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. Beautiful. Is there 2 shots here? I love when there's 2 shots because all I have to do is hit my arrow button. And it makes it so much easier because I have to go in and out and in and out in order to not hit the get anybody's emails. Wabbit. This is like a murderous rabbit, huh? There was a terrible line in 30 Rock the other day where Alec Baldwin, who was a vegetarian, says, "Are you kidding me? I can get into any restaurant. I can get into the restaurant where kids play with bunnies and then you eat them." I'm the guy that turns off the movies when the animal dies. If an animal dies in a movie, I'm too upset and I shut it off. And Paul says, that's an actor. That's cool. Is the Playboy bunny still around, or is that something that was canceled? I remember the Playboy bunny when I was a kid, and it was just such a thing. And Ray Meehan. Oh, look, here's a picture of Ray on his hog. Like, I wish I knew enough about Harley Davidson to say it's a flathead, a panhead. I don't. And I can't pretend that I do. But I know a lot about old GMs, Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, Chevrolets, Cadillacs. My favorites being like a 68, 69 Eldorado. You know? He's giving everybody the bird. Did I miss any? No, I got everybody. Well, that's watches. That's the watches. Let's see what happened in the chat so I don't miss out on anybody. Mark in Brooklyn says that Malika Crawford, I don't know who that is. Malika? How do you say that? Malaika was in Miami with IWC. She had a chance to sit down with Giselle. Giselle, she's single and on the open market. Line up, fellas, if you can. Toussaint Lou says wristwatch revival. I love wrist. I watch that all the time. And I love the naked watch restorer, the guy that's got his kid there, and I think he's Indian or Arabic. He's got a Middle Eastern accent. I love his banter with his kid and what he does with the watches. That's my absolute favorite watch restoration. I'm obsessed with it. He does such beautiful, beautiful work. Carolyn Martin. It's Carolyn Martin. She says, let's hunt Roger instead. Yeah. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, don't do that. Tobster said he got to go to the very last Rush concert ever at the Forum. That is true. It was at the Forum, even for backstage VIP, but I never met the band. Um, Here's the thing about VIP shit and backstage shit. I'm not a fan of those VIP packages where you get to meet the band and talk to them and sign shit and get a guitar and pay money. I think it's gross. And I think fans should be able to engage with their favorite band, and bands should be more willing to engage with them. Now, in a concert scenario, when you're on tour, obviously it's hard to do. But now this is an extra stream of revenue because people won't buy your records anymore. And that's a very, very big problem. Carolyn Martin says she went British and drive a Triumph. Very nice. My cousin had a TR7. Remember that? It looked like a wedge. It was a very popular car in the United States when I was a little kid. It was very, very, very popular. And then they just kind of that no longer a company because they make motorcycles. That's the same company. I would imagine it probably is, right? Subaru is Subaru. No, I don't think China makes any cars. I don't think that they've ever gotten. Do they make any cars? All the cars are either Korean or Japanese. Does China have a company, like a car company? I don't know that they do. Well, none of you should buy it if they do. Stop buying Chinese shit. Funding their entire economy. We should stop doing it. I have no idea. Yeah, Jim says that's a great bike, Ray Ray. Anyway, Neil Peart, he rode BMW Tourers. Those were his bike of choice. And then my drummer JS got one of those because he did everything Neil Peart did, include play drums. So I also want to give a big, beautiful shout out to my Patreons. Jim Lassick, Sam Led Consulting, Andrew Wolkovich, Sam Led Consulting, Go Moto Soto, Nick Sisto, the winner of the Truff, Complicated Time, Fargol, Nathaniel Hannon, who's not here tonight, Dana O'Malley, my best GFF, Lord Scotty H, and the newest member, welcome to the team, Dean Mackenzie. I'll have special giveaways for all of my Patreons too, as that's more fun. Hey, how about that copy of Ghost Rider? We'll come up with something on the Patreon page to bring that all to fruition. So we want to thank Andrew Wolkovich with Canadian $10, Carolyn Martin, the big winner of the night, the big crazy mega super chat. Let's give her another one of those big bang booms because it's fun, and I didn't get to do the middle one, the huge one. I got to do. That's hilarious. Thank you, Carolyn Martin. Nick Sisto with US $10. Great picture. Now we know what you look like. Mr. Badgas and Jim Lassick. Thank you so much for all of that. It's wonderful to have you in the room on Thursday. What am I missing? Travis says, at Jim Lassick, next time looks like Dirk is wrapping up. Did I miss something, kids? Send me a message if I missed it. Rufus says, on your encouragement, Dirk, I'm diving into making my music again. Good for you. Lost my right hand coordination in the first stroke. I am so sorry about that. I'm taking up keyboards and loving it down the rabbit hole, as you should. Hey, man, if I can help out in any way, let me know with any kind of things you might need. I have a full little studio here, and I help you map shit out or whatever you need to do to get on the road to making the music that you love to make. And I would love to help you out on that. I'm not really doing anything musically right now because my band is lazy and stupid, and I've already written like 15 songs for a record that I don't know when that's ever going to come out. So I have all the gear here. So hey man, if you're open for collaboration, I love collaborating. You let me know. You know where to send the email to. Where do you send it? You send it to basherdirk@gmail.com, where you send all your pictures of your loved ones, your cars, your watches, of course, your kitty cats, and all of the things that we love so much. It's very simple to just send that on over to me, and I'll be more than happy to promote that and talk about your stuff. This show's about you, me, and everything in between. Vaughn says, in 2023, China automakers produced 30 million cars. GM made 2 million cars. Yeah, but can anybody name a single brand of a Chinese car? I can't off the top of my head. Or if you can, I didn't know that they're not sold here, right? Well, there's 800 kabillion trillion people there, right? Right? 30 million cars. That's all they do is they just make. Listen, Dad, look at that. We got Al Benedetti upvote. Upvote, bastards. Please do with the super. Thank you so much, Al Benedetti, for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so very much. Dave 451 says Neo, NIO. I guess that's a brand. Wow. Tobster McDonkey says the new Lincoln Nautilus is made in China. Come on, is that true? Are we sending? I said this the other day, my dear friends. Unions built this country and then they destroyed them because it enabled lazy people to. Did you ever see that documentary about the fall of Detroit, where all those fat, lazy Americans sat in a room and refused a decent contract because they wanted more? There are great people who are in unions, and I believe in unions. I think it's a great thing. It protects people from all the crap that can go on, but it also protects the lazy. Anyone who's ever worked in New York, lived in New York City, we used to have people in token booths, and we have a couple left, but it was always some big sloth who did nothing to help you out. And those people, they had job security for the rest of their lives, pensions, bonuses. It's like Detroit got destroyed by people who just were unwilling to compromise. Life is a compromise, my friends. It's a compromise. That's the end of my rant on that. I don't know about the Lincoln Nautilus. I'm going to do a little bit of digging on Chinese car manufacturing and see what the dealio is on that, because I don't know anything. So send all your stuff to basherdirk@gmail.com, and I'd appreciate it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow with the big guy. Do I have some new chats here? But I don't want to miss anybody before we go out. Right. Any shots you send, I'll feature on Sunday's show. I'm going to do another show on Sunday because it went so well and it was a lot of fun. So anybody who wants to join me, I'll do it at 3. Send me a message if it's too late, too early, because it's a new thing. It's a brand new thing. So we'll figure that out. Between you and me, we'll figure it all out. So I want to thank everybody for coming to the show. Tomorrow night, don't forget, it's the big show starring Oisin O'Malley and myself. Come one, come all. Bring your A game. Bring your drinks. Super chat us to death, as this is our career now. And we'll be back on Monday nights for Watch Fashion Police with the incredible Michaela de Chatillon, and I will return to your service Tuesday through Thursday for Dirk weekdays. And I will also be here this Sunday. I don't know how regular it is. It depends on you guys. Depends on you. I would love to do the show. I'd love to continue it because Sunday I can do it. It might not be every Sunday, but it'll be most Sundays if that works out. So thanks, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. And remember, say please and thank you. Hold the door open. Don't be a dick unless that person that you encounter is a total cunt.